14. Abbreviation and statement. Abbreviation.
Most journals ask that you keep the use of non-standard abbreviations to an absolute minimum.
Cue.
All of charisma and human interaction is a set of signals and cues that lead to other signals and cues.
State.
As Agar, a sociology professor, states, identities are largely social products, formed in relation to others and how we think they view us.
Statement.
Clearly, there is no shortage of bacteria in our gut, which can make this next statement a little hard to believe. Our gut bacteria belong on the endangered species list.
Frown.
The music teacher had a seemingly permanent frown on her face.
Permanent.
You must never assume that what people say or do in a particular moment is a statement of their permanent desires.
Verb.
In the sentence, I love you, the word love is the verb.
Verbal.
Listeners find that nonverbal cues are more credible than verbal cues, especially when verbal and nonverbal cues conflict.
Nonverbal.
The nature of the information that speakers share with listeners depends on the type of nonverbal response that listeners give, such as smiling or frowning.
Danish.
She speaks Danish as if it were her mother tongue.
Cite.
Citing the need for managers to find their own answers to day-to-day challenges, the CEO asked them to use their imagination.
Citation.
The Nobel Committee realizes that their award citations commonly honor the discovery for having opened a new field up.
Literature.
Because a great deal of science fiction is rooted in science, it can be used to bring literature out of the English classroom and into the science classroom.
Translate.
Not one of these African words can be directly translated into English.
Translation.
Literature in translation has an important role, turning literature as a bridge between cultures.
Translator.
The unstable qualities of childhood that Hollindale cites require a writer or translator to have an understanding of the freshness of language to the child's eye and ear.
Interpret.
In cultures that prize silence, responding too quickly after speakers have finished their turns is interpreted as having devoted inadequate attention and consideration to speakers' words and thoughts.
Interpretation.
Observing a child's play can provide rich insights into a child's inner world. Interpretation of what you have observed must, however, be made with great care.
Noun.
Hygge, a term that comes from Danish, is both a noun and a verb and does not have a direct translation into English.
Decipher.
There is a science to deciphering which signals and cues work the most in your favor.
Yield.
Asking general questions gets you little valuable information and may even yield misleading responses. Studies show that motorists are more likely to yield to pedestrians in marked crosswalks than at unmarked crosswalks. Regions such as Africa will face declining crop yields and will struggle to produce sufficient food for domestic consumption, while their major exports will likely fall in volume.
Pester.
The journalists pestered the researchers for more information.
Dub.
There are lots of advertisements to sell toys and sugared food to children, and such practices are believed to put pressure on parents to yield to what the media have dubbed pester power. She watched the Korean movie dubbed into English.
Phrase.
We've all heard the phrase, "The family that plays together stays together."
Stammer.
The reporter was startled but had little choice but to respond to the charismatic actress. "Well, what do you think of?" he stammered.
Slang.
If your town has several schools, there are often differences in the kind of slang heard in each school.
Pupil.
Researchers at a Los Angeles school found that 136 second-year elementary school pupils who learned to play the piano and read music improved their mathematics skills. A pupil is the small black round area in the middle of your eye.
Cliché.
The cliché that teachers learn as much as their pupils is certainly true.
Proverb.
As the old proverb goes, you never miss the water till the well runs dry.
Maxim.
Fish where the fish are is a maxim which applies to all areas of marketing.
Theme.
Theme for this year's contest is arrivals and departures.